You'd like French's.
Allergies leave you ultra-sensitive? The softest tissue is Kleenex Ultra Soft. Thank goodness for Kleenex tissues.
Works like magic.
Bleaching action whitens teeth like no toothpaste. Plus White's Whitener Gel bleaches away stains to whiten teeth. Plus White 5-minute Whitener Gel.
100-mile-per-hour winds, roofs blown off houses, 20-foot storm surge, and that's just the beginning. Get ready for 5 amazing nights of the most incredible storms you'll ever see. Storm Week begins tonight on the Weather Channel with Raging Hurricane. Watch nature wreak havoc on people, property, and paradise. Raging Hurricane, it's intense. Are you ready? Storm Week starts tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on the Weather Channel.
Storm Week, tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently, the temperature is 30 degrees with light snow. The forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it.
A very winter-like day across the Northeast for many of us. Rain tapering off for D.C., snow picking up for Boston. And parts of the Midwest are also dealing with spring snow this Monday. We'll have the complete details. That's coming up next. Hello and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Lisa Moser. We are following this spring snow in the Northeast at this hour. Our winter weather expert Paul Cosin has the chilly details. Paul?
Well, just in case you're in the mood for any comfort in terms of you're not the only ones from New York City getting snow today. Just saw pictures of Venice today. They've also had some snow, but not quite as much. In the last hour, JFK Airport has reported 2 inches of snow. So in general, at all 3 airports, we now have at least 3 inches of snow on the ground. That's the bad news. The good news, all you have to do is look at the radar and see that there's going to be a break in precipitation. And since this is an April storm, a break in the precipitation means you are likely, even if snow starts up again, it will not accumulate very much. But for the next hour or so, expect snow to be coming down hard and then to lighten up. So this evening's rush hour should be easier than what's going on right now, because right now the snow is coming down very heavily. Look for total accumulations of about 4 or 5 inches in the city itself, up to a half a foot of snow on Long Island and northern New Jersey and some of the surrounding areas. I've updated some of the snowfall maps, and I'll show that in just a bit, but we can see this long, strung-out storm system that's dropped 5 inches of snow in Detroit, 4 inches now in Milwaukee. The eastern portion is really racing east pretty rapidly, but we will see the snow very gradually move off towards New England, even though some of the heaviest snows will remain across New York and Long Island. But some of these lighter snows up across now south central New York, now moving towards the Albany area, will be moving into New England, and we'll see snowfall accumulations in the Boston area, say around 2 to 4 inches, with some of the heaviest snows still along the extreme south coast, or at least just away from the coast. Here we can see the rapid movement of the upper level jet stream here. It's associated with another upper level storm system that's produced all the heavy snowfall. This is going to sort of move very slowly to the east, so the weather, although the heaviest snow will diminish, the clouds and light precipitation, sleet, freezing rain, and snow will continue into this evening on and off in New York, as well as across southern New England. So kind of a nasty, nasty night. Redone the snowfall accumulations. Generally, we're looking at categories here now: 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 8 inches. So we see the heaviest accumulations of up to 8 inches across south central New York, much of eastern Pennsylvania, Allentown, from Trenton, New Jersey, northward through New York City, all of Long Island, and into portions of Connecticut. We'll still see some significant amounts of snow from Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, into Boston, but generally only on the order of about 2 to 4 inches, which isn't bad during the month of April. So just looking at New York City, next hour, just bear with it. You will probably or likely set the record if they get more than 3.1 inches at Central Park. That will set the record for the date, and one of the latest snowfalls on record. This is the heaviest snow in New York City during April in over 20 years. Let's turn it back to the studio.
Okay, Paul Cozen, our winter weather expert, saying we should just bear with it. We will be checking in with Paul this afternoon and this evening, and also Mike Seidel is on location in New York City. We'll check in with a live report for him, from him coming up here shortly. Over the next 12 to 24-hour period, the area of low pressure that's currently anchored out over the Ohio Valley area will lose some of its momentum aloft, and that means we'll see a secondary low take over with the weather pattern here in the Northeast. And through much of the day tomorrow, that low, that coastal low, will be pulling away from the vicinity. So that means the snow falling through the day on Tuesday much lighter. The rain showers over the Carolinas and even possibly into the D.C. area should also be much lighter. As we go through the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures getting up into the 40s and 30s, and that may mean some melting, but just keep in mind that the early morning hours are going to be pretty chilly, ice cold, as a matter of fact. Going to the south, a new watch about a half hour ago was issued. It does include Houston, Texas, and San Antonio. Some of the thunderstorms around Houston could possibly develop into supercells. Chambers County, you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's like about the third one for today. The thunderstorms are training across the same old area, so hit pretty hard this afternoon from Houston to the Lafayette, Louisiana area. Really bad thunderstorm cells, and we're beginning to see some of those thunderstorm cells, the individual cells, begin to bow a little bit, so be concerned about some pretty potent wind. Some wind damage is possible. We're not going to rule out the possibility of tornadoes either. Heavy rain, large hail, certainly that's going to cause some property damage. Watch out for that. If you don't have to be on that I-10 or some of the connecting secondary roads, you're doing yourself a big, big favor. Watch out just to the northwest of New Orleans. Some of these thunderstorms do have a severe history, and here too you can see that the individual cells are beginning to line up right along I-10 here in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area and further eastward. So lots of problems with these thunderstorms. Looking at the bigger picture here in the southeast, the thunderstorms actually are lining up all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina, cutting across Darlington, getting into the Macon, Georgia area. And in Macon, we are still under a tornado watch. No tornado warnings to pass on, but that watch means that conditions are favorable for some stronger activity like tornadoes, so watch out for that. Very warm in the warm sector, 87 degrees right now in Orlando. Say hello to Mickey and Minnie. 79 right now in New Orleans. A much cooler day across the North Texas area. Tomorrow should be a bit breezy for you, and Dallas will say hello to some sunshine. 61 the high temperature for your Tuesday in the Dallas area. An onshore flow increasing across the Pacific Northwest. We've had quite a bit of cloud cover to move on board in Seattle and in Tacoma, and as we go into Wednesday, very likely to see some rain showers as far south as the Bay Area. In the meantime, they'll be spotty along the coastal areas of Washington and Oregon states. We'll be back. Your locals on the 8th and travel-wise details are up next.
Saturn Ion. Specifically designed and engineered for whatever's next. Get a 2003 Saturn Ion L-Series or View at 0% APR financing for 5 years. For restrictions, see your retailer.
Suarez, I have some good news. I'm taking you out.
Oh, you said you had good news.
I do. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico. Give me the ball.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tired of playing the mortgage rate game? You know, when you hear one of those ads that promise you the moon and you call up only to find out that the points are too high and there are hidden fees attached? Well, at Ditech.com, there are no games, just low fixed rates with no middleman or broker fees. You can be pre-qualified online or over the telephone. There's no advance fees prior to closing and no cancellation fees. Do it now before the rates go up. Ditech.com. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Let's say your sister lives in town.
All right. It's